Here I go. All right, bring it on.
What's good, everybody out there on YouTube? This is your man Shadicstick dropping some Hot Firaga on this mic, and today I'm joined with my boy Avataryaya. Say what's good, Yaya.
What's good, everybody? I'm a sick little avatar. I can't even throw a fire right now, but I got you. I'm here with my boy Shadicstick today. We got some surprising news to talk about, y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about this leak. So, my bad to cut you off, Yaya, but this leak is massive. If it's real, that, you know, this video, you know, take it all as it is, but I would say take this with a grain of salt also, because this was posted on GameFAQs. But again, like I said before, it could be real. So Yaya, you know, let me ask, how do you feel about it? Do you feel it's real? Do you feel anything in this is plausible before we go on?
The way it's set out and like worded, like this whole leak and like list of things set out, I'm feeling like a 90. Some of it's real, cause like last year some of it was real. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, more stuff was real than just fake. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of the stuff in here will be 100% accurate, and then there'll be some stuff that's just off a little bit. But I do see this as being a very plausible leak, like probably the best leak we got for Nintendo Switch, period, since the Switch was coming out. So
exactly, like we've had before, Nintendo just has an issue with leaks in general. So I wouldn't put this past anybody for it to be fake. Hopefully, you know, it might be, you know, real, and I'm hoping this is real, because this is a lot of stuff coming. The first thing we're gonna get is, you know, details about Nintendo's online service this upcoming Monday, which is something that I wasn't expecting at all, to be honest. And how would you feel about that? Like, we know we're gonna get the paid service. We know from what it says here, it's gonna be September 24th, and it's gonna offer VoIP or voice chat through Discord, because it's a popular choice. You get exclusive eShop discounts, and you get games like you get with games with Gold or with PlayStation Plus. And they're gonna Nintendo's gonna ditch Virtual Console, and instead of Virtual Console, it's gonna be called Nintendo Classics. Games are gonna offer much cheaper than they were before. It's gonna launch with SNES and GBA games, and then with the addition of SNES and 64 games being made later this year. How do you feel, Yaya, about this information right here first?
I think it's real. It makes sense to talk about the Nintendo service now, because next month is E3. So they have to do it either before E3 or after E3, because they're not going to really try to scram that in there during the Nintendo Direct. Like, yeah. Come on, we want to see what's new, what's upcoming, what's coming out.
Unless
go
ahead, my bad.
So, like, the Discord thing, it's possible, because Xbox just hooked up with Discord too. So only one that I don't see doing it is Sony, because Sony has an actual like good party chat system this time around, and they gonna stick by that. But Nintendo Switch needs a chat service. Like, they probably realized that the thing they used for Spatoon, I guess, or whatever it was, I forgot, it was an app on the Nintendo on iPhone and iOS
online app that was trash.
Yeah, it was trash. So they was like, oh well, we could just use Discord. You're probably playing with your friends anyway, so yeah, about that.
It doesn't limit it to, you know, it doesn't limit you to where, you know, you can connect to people, and that's one thing I guess they're trying to push with that. On the Nintendo Virtual Console thing, I think it's actually smart, because Virtual Console games to me have always felt way more expensive than what they need to be, and if they're going to be cheaper than with the Nintendo Classics program than what they were with the Nintendo Virtual Console program, then that shows Nintendo really pushing this effort to, you know, keep these games preserved and get them out to fans of retro games. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but there's been a really big surgence in the retro gaming community and people getting into retro gaming, trying to play retro games, because, you know, with the current movement of the gaming industry towards a lot of DLC and, you know, microtransactions and just overall consumer unfriendly practices, a lot of people are going back and they're absorbing those retro styled games, or just retro games in general, because they give you the full package, you know, at launch. What you get with that game is what you get with that game. And I think Nintendo seeing that, and they're going to take the opportunity to really dig into that market even more than they have now with items like the Nintendo NES Classic and Super Nintendo Classic. How you feel about the virtual console thing? Yeah.
It'll be smart. Change it up for this generation. I think it's still gonna. I like the idea that we'll get Nintendo Classics if I pay for the service. Cause my idea was if it's $20 a year, right?
Yeah.
Just stock up and get. Cause like think about it. If you're a PlayStation owner, you spending $60 for a PS Plus now.
Yeah.
One PS Plus card for Nintendo Switch would be 3 years of service. That means I'm getting over like 36 free games if I just buy that one time.
Exactly.
So
it's a big value. Yeah. You get a lot for so little money. And then I mean, like that's one thing that I think Nintendo's going for. They're having you pay for the service for value, not to, you know, snake your money like Sony, because Sony raised the price just to raise the price. We didn't get anything better out of it. You know what I mean?
You're right.
And I really appreciate what Nintendo's doing here. They're offering you, you know, new games and stuff. We're getting Discord implemented into the Nintendo Switch ecosystem, and we're getting, you know, a revamped virtual console. Now,
here's my thing. Before you go, sorry to interrupt.
No,
NES and Game Boy Advance games. Okay, never mind. I see it now. I'm reading the leak and it says NES and Game Boy Advance games in August, with SNES and 64 games being made available late 2018, early 2019. If y'all give me Kirby on Nintendo 64, I love you. Right? Because it's weird. Like, it's like two different generations, like two different things. I'm like, okay, we're gonna give you this old, and we're gonna give you something a little more current, you know. And then this is old, and then we on Nintendo 64, where it all started for a lot of people. So I was iffy about that, but now I'm reading the whole thing. I'm like, okay, it makes perfect sense now. So Super Mario 64 for Nintendo Switch, hey.
Let's get it, my dude. And now the next thing is actually talking about the Nintendo Switch E3 presentation for the Nintendo Direct. Is going to be 36 minutes long and focus really only on Switch titles. They're going to use the Treehouse to really talk about the 3DS titles, because as you guys know, Nintendo is not dropping the 3DS anytime soon, because it's making them money, and it's there's multiple consoles or handhelds per household than, say, for instance, with the Switch, which is more of a one-person household system. Now, the first thing we get is, the first reveal is going to be the Spiral Trilogy coming to Switch. You know, that's why they've been waiting to reveal it. You know, we get Fire Emblem, Illustrious Daybreak, and we get Yoshi flipped around. It's going to have the same amiibo functionality as Woolly World. You know, it's going to release in August. So, how do you feel about this first section of the Direct, Yaya?
Okay. Activision, you smart. Because Crash is coming out this summer, and then y'all follow up with another game. Y'all have two games back to back this holiday and fall season. So then it'll be Spyro, and then y'all have Call of Duty. Not saying that Call of Duty will come to the Switch or whatever, but Spyro Trilogy, I knew it would come to Switch. Like, it was no reason for them not to reveal it from the get-go. Like, why? Why are y'all hiding this? You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make sense. Like, you put Crash, where's Spyro on the Switch? Fire Emblem, everybody's been waiting for this. Especially since Fire Emblem Fates. If you play Fire Emblem Fates, you know that everybody don't really like Fire Emblem Fates like that. Illustrious Daybreak is supposed to come out at the end of this year, so this is probably an October, November release for Fire Emblem. I can tell you right now, that's 100% facts. Now, Yoshi was supposed to be out. I feel like Yoshi was supposed to come out already, and I've been waiting for Yoshi forever. But releasing in August, that's perfect, because there's no other games for Nintendo. Barely any games released in August. So you're gonna go pick up my homie Yoshi. So it's smart on Nintendo's end. This actually is the real part of this whole leak.
Yeah, see, I feel like because you know, noticing the trend with this stuff, it seems like Nintendo really is, what they're doing is they're loading the end of the year up, because that's kind of what 2017 was. Nintendo had a bunch of stuff at the middle. Actually, let me not say that. It was kind of opposite with 2017. 2017, we kind of had steady releases from Nintendo throughout the year. But what I'm noticing with Nintendo this time around, they're releasing all of their, exclusive games, or the games that are really gonna, sell well on their system, or that's gonna sell well in the system. Because we know Spyro, a lot of the older IPs tend to sell better on Nintendo's platform. Sonic Forces sold the best on Nintendo Switch, and that was the worst version in a sense, you know what I mean? So that shows you something about what people are using the Nintendo Switch for. And I think Nintendo, at a financial level, that is the smartest thing they could do, because there's not much that comes out in the summer in terms of releases. All they have to do is release maybe like 1 or 2 games, and then at the end of the year, if they release all of those, especially near the holiday season, especially, Spyro, Yoshi, Fire Emblem, those games will push Nintendo Switch sales, I think, to 40 million. I feel like the Switch could sell 40 million by the end of this year. Not well over that by the end of the fiscal year, but I think by the end of this year, the Switch is going to sell 40 million units at least, because of all this backloading and what Nintendo is doing in terms of using the software to sell the hardware. And this is going to go into the next point we're going to talk about here, which is the new Paper Mario game is not going to be made by Intelligent System, which makes all of Nintendo's basically all of their RPGs. But it's going to be kind of a revamp of the series. It's going to go back to the traditional style while having some of the limitations, I guess, on the characters of newer Super Mario games. So I don't know how that's going to exactly work, because while I've only really played Paper Mario on the 64 Wii and what is it called, Thousand Years Door. From what I hear, the newer ones aren't all that liked. I know Color Splash, a lot of people like that, but Sticker Star, they didn't. And then on top of that, we're getting Mario Odyssey DLC. Luigi's gonna be playable. We're gonna get on that day up too, by the way, with 70 new moons, Wario and Waluigi. And it's important that we remember Waluigi, because this can actually, this kind of was an alarm to me, because Waluigi hasn't been playable in any Mario game outside of the Mario sports games. So to see Waluigi being mentioned here either means Nintendo is really taking that extra leap, or this leak could just be fake and this could just be completely fabricated. But again, like I said at the beginning of the video, take it with a grain of salt. I hope this is true, because I just want to play as Waluigi. I saw Luigi and I was like, oh man, and then I saw Waluigi and I was like, dude, the god. The god returns. But and the last thing is, Activision has some announcements: Crash Bandicoot Amiibo, Harder Time Trials Insane Trilogy, some functionality with the Spyro Trilogy, and Black Ops 4 Battle Royale. Because if you guys didn't know, Black Ops 4 is going to have a Battle Royale, Call of Duty Black Ops. Going to have a Battle Royale, and that portion of the game is coming to the Switch. And it's going to be crossplay with PC and Xbox. But the main game, which is the multiplayer portion, because they're cutting out the single player portion, the main game, I'm guessing, zombies and multiplayer are not coming to Nintendo Switch. And I think those are going to come as a separate game, separate video. But I think this is a smart tactic from Activision. I think this is something they're testing the waters to see if Call of Duty will sell on the console. How do you feel about all these things? Yeah. My bad for going on so long.
No, go ahead. All right. So let me start off with Paper Mario. Paper Mario, not really a fan of it, to be honest with y'all. I played Color Splash. I like that. However, I don't know about the continuity of Paper Mario games, so I can't really comment on that too deeply. I also would say for the Paper Mario thing, though, I don't think it'd be a new game. I feel like it'd be like a rework of Paper Mario Color Splash, like Paper Mario Color Splash Deluxe. That makes perfect sense. Mario Odyssey DLC, if that's real, I'm going to be kind of salty, because I just sold Mario Odyssey. It was the pre-order games I put on the channel, but Mario Odyssey, I'm probably gonna pick up another copy of Mario Odyssey, like I pick up Splatoon every time, a new Splatoon, because this time I'm not selling Splatoon, by the way. But Mario Odyssey, I do kind of want to play with Waluigi. That's probably will make me rebuy the game and pay for the DLC. But I'm not a big fan of the collecting thing. Now with Activision, this is kind of weird because they know how mad. Earlier this year, Activision had a live stream and they was supposed to show off the Spyro trilogy, and they didn't show it off. Everybody was upset, angry, and furious. So now, Activision must notice the demand for their older games, their older IPs, you know? So, like, I can see all of this being real. They're like, okay, we learned our lesson. This many people tuned in for this stream. That's a big note to take. And then it was at PAX. Everybody blew it up at PAX. Everybody was excited and happy about it. Why not go in it again? A safe haven and a better chance to get more money, you know, as consumerism, to bring all this Activision announcements. A Crash Bandicoot amiibo, I'm already getting that. Like, I read that and I was like, yep, that's another $12 that's coming out of my pocket. Plus, Black Ops. Did you do Black Ops, right? You did Black Ops, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Black Ops 4 Battle Royale, the name bothers me because the game is supposed to be like Overwatch. Like it was millions of rumors that saying the next Call of Duty game is supposed to be similar to Overwatch. When you see Call of Duty Battle Royale, I don't even know how that will work. Because when I see Battle Royale, I'm thinking to myself like, yo, that is some freaking Fortnite level-ish. How does Call of Duty work? You die as GG. Like, you die really fast in Call of Duty compared to all these other Battle Royale games. That I don't believe is necessarily real. The crossplay part, though, I believe that is real. Because Activision and the company behind Rocket League, they love crossplay. And with PC and Xbox makes more sense than if they would have put PC, PS4, nada. Because they already had crossplay last year with all these three platforms. So that makes perfect sense to me. Regular Black Ops 4 not coming to the Switch, it makes sense. I don't think that sometimes these developers don't know if they want to put these games on here. So regular Black Ops, I'm sorry, you just not coming to the Switch.
And you know, that's something that I found, like it's I feel like it's like testing the waters. On top of that, you know, the Switch doesn't have a lot of space. The last Infinite Warfare, if y'all guys remember, it was over 100 gigabytes just to download and play the game. So like you know getting that on the Switch's paltry system storage would be pretty hard. So seeing this coming and then testing the waters with this, seeing how people react to it, you know, it's not unheard of. Now the next part we're gonna go into is gonna be something that, you know, your boy has to talk about. So Sega reveals their Sega Ages line for the West. 2 games are releasing are gonna be the first 2 Sonic Adventure games, which it's not. It's something that I've been wanting for a long time. We don't know how they're going to release it. Is it going to be a remaster? Is it going to be the previous ports and remasters of Sonic Adventure 2? Is it going to be a whole overhaul or full remake? We don't know yet. But there's some other stuff that they have here for Sega revealing. So Sega's going to be talking about Supersonic Racing, going to be revealed, and it's going to take inspiration from Sonic R. Some characters running, some characters, you know, in vehicles, like you know, in one of my more recent videos, if you guys know, you should check that out. Shameless plug here. But on the real, this is something that I've seen, you know, can happen again. Like I said, that big emphasis on that R, you know, signaled to me like I didn't think it was gonna be like exclusively Sonic R or something, but they had to be pulling from that game for them to even make a hint for that R to be like that. You know, that was the Sonic RR, so it's something that, you know, hinted to me. And there's gonna be some Nintendo exclusive content, so I feel like a lot of people are gonna pick it up on Switch because of that exclusive content. They don't want to lose out on it. And you know, we're gonna get.
Can I jump in right quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So a lot of people might not like my opinion on this, but Sonic R, I was not a fan of it.
Oh no, I mean like it wasn't a good game. It wasn't a good game. So like,
however, it depends on how it played. Cause like now I'm thinking about it, and like, you know, it can have Sonic Shadow, Rouge on like just running or whatever, and then Tails could be in his robot, Eggman could be in the robot, and they're running. You know, it's fair. Because when I first read it, it didn't click in my mind. I was like, so you really finna give Tails a Lamborghini with tails on it and have Sonic and have Knuckles just running out here, right? But then I was like, no, it doesn't make sense. So this game might do is if it has a certain style, like if it looked a certain type of way, I'd be okay with it. But like normal Sonic art, I just wasn't a fan of none of it. Like the concept was cool, so I'm like, okay. I was thinking this game was going to be like another Sega All-Stars Transform with just Sonic characters. But this right here kind of interests me because now they tried to clarify, I was thinking like, yo, why don't they make it like with the generations or like, you know, even Forces. A lot of people don't like Forces. Forces is not that good, to be honest. But like how that looks, and I don't know. It's just so many possibilities to what they could do as long as it's just not slow. That's my gripe. If it's slow, like I'm just not gonna be with it. I'm gonna get it anyway, but
I mean, like I feel like they could make the running work because the boost games, Sonic controls like a car in the boost games. I'm gonna be honest. Like he literally has a drift. So for them to maybe implement that into this game in terms of just like having the runner characters do that, you know, it wouldn't be too far-fetched. I can see it working if they do it correctly, you know what I mean? Like I want to see where they're gonna take it. Maybe they'll take it in a different direction than that. Maybe it'll be like sort of even more hybrid. Maybe you switch in between during the race between on foot and in vehicles. It just, you know, it depends. We'll see what happens when we get the game, at least get gameplay, or it's, you know, they show off more of the game. Now, the next thing on this list is a Metroid Prime 4 gameplay trailer, and it's going to be coming 2019, which I actually do see that the game coming 2019. That makes sense. They're probably going to load it on at the beginning of the year, because I think this is what Nintendo's plan is going to be from now on, is to load the beginning and the end of the year instead of having things in the middle. While having things in the middle is great, you know, having, you know, DLC can suffice people during the summer. And Pokemon Switch is going to reveal is going to be a take on Red and Blue and features gameplay that are not gameplay, but graphics that's in between Pokken and Sun and Moon, and I suspect that's so it can hit 1080p on dock, maybe 60 FPS, because Pokken, as you guys know, is isn't it 60? Doesn't it run 60?
Yes, it is.
It's 720 60, and the game still looks amazing. It's one of the, like, I think that game's art style and the art direction really takes that game far, because it's a really pretty game. And while it has like the Pokemon look really realistic, they're still Pokemon, so it carries. I guess the combination of the realism and the cartooniness just kind of progress the graphics further and makes it really pretty. And that's something that I'd like to see on the Switch. You know, I want to see gameplay here. Let me see, it doesn't have a year, and it doesn't really have a year for Pokemon Switch, but that's okay. How do you feel about this stuff? Yeah.
This is another part of the leak that I'm like, this real. It has to be real, but at the same time, because let's put it this way. In this perspective, Pokken was developed by Bandai Namco. Game Freak collaborating with the same system they're using. They're like, okay, people like how Pokken looked. If you play Pokken, it's pretty much just different Tekken, you know. And if you know Tekken, that looks wonderful. Now, I'm gonna go to the Metroid Prime thing because I think that's 100% real. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, and y'all probably like, what? That's probably like the least likely one. But for the Pokemon Switch, I hope it's not Red and Blue. I just want it to be like, I'd rather for them to, like, if they're gonna bring back Red and Blue but introduce like new Pokemon, cool. I'm okay. Now, Metroid Prime 4 gameplay trailer, I have a screenshot that we don't know if it's real or fake right now. Nobody has confirmed if it's real or fake. That Metroid Prime 4 gameplay. So I think that is the most plausible thing out of everything on here right now, because I have actual, like, a screenshot of it. I'll toss it Shadic's way. I don't know if he wants to put it in there, but I think Metroid Prime 4, what they need to do before Metroid Prime 4 drops, though, they need to tease a Metroid Prime Trilogy for the Switch. It would just make sense for them to drop Metroid Prime Trilogy this fall and then drop the new one, you know, the first part of 2019, mid 2019. So I think that's real.
All right, my dude. Like, I really see this stuff being real. The Pokemon things, like you said, it's kind of iffy because of the Pokemon Red and Blue thing. But otherwise, like, I see everything else in that. The Metroid Prime one, that's just one of those gimme ones. Because coming 2019, we get a new gameplay trailer. That just seems simple in and of itself. It seems like one of those gimme ones. You know, that's something that you really can predict, and even if this was false, it would probably be right anyways. But let's go on. Five Nights at Freddy's coming to the Switch, coming with sister content. Yikes. 2 trailers for Smash Bros. Switch are the last things. One reveals Captain Toad and the other reveals Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. And this is basically why they've been quiet about it, according to this leak, about the Switch version of the trilogy for Spyro, if you guys don't know. And the gameplay is shown with a mix of Smash 4 and Melee being super colorful and detailed, kind of actually like Smash 4 was, coming out September alongside the online service. And ice climbers are set to be, you know, revealed during the Treehouse Live. Like, it's really like this last part in terms of Smash, like it's so believable but so unbelievable. Like seeing Captain Toad, Spyro, Crash, and Ice Climbers in Smash, that seems, you know, that seems plausible. Captain Toad, Nintendo's been really pushing him as his own entity, as his own character. He's gotten his own game. Captain Toad, I think, just released or is about to release on Nintendo Switch for $40 with a bunch of new content. You know, it'll get people to go and play and buy Captain Toad. Spyro's coming out around the same time in September, along with Crash Bandicoot already being out. You know, boost the sales of those games while also representing 2 of gaming's biggest icons, having Ice Climbers return, a favorite of the Smash Brothers series, and just having them all there would, you know, make sense. The gameplay shown, you know, the mix of Melee and Smash 4 is what kind of gets me there, because they're games that, you know, the Smash games at the basics are all the same. You know, you press the same buttons, you do the same actions, but after that, like, the way the games feel are all completely different. Brawl feels completely different than Melee. Melee feels completely different than Smash 4. Smash 4 feels completely different than 64. They all feel like their own unique games. They can all feel like they're not even a part of the same series sometimes. The way the games work mechanically are just so different. Smash 4 really has this it feels a lot, it's a lot more floaty than, saying, for instance, Melee. Melee feels like the characters have a lot more heft, while it can also be faster in some aspects. You know, it can also be slower in some aspects. You know, matches can last a lot longer in there, but at the same time, Smash 4 matches, if they were, you know, using the same amount of stocks, could also take a lot longer. It's one of those things where it's something that I want to believe, because if we had combination of basically Smash 4 and Melee, we have the perfect Smash game. But at the same time, it's something that I feel is so far-fetched that we may not get it. Even though Sakurai has kind of softened up to the competitive Smash community, because he's seen touch of death combos, and he's kind of realized, you know, if you're not good, you're not good. That's his thought on it now. So he's just like, you know, while I'm not 100% for, you know, the competitive scene, it's one of those things where I respect it, because people are taking the time out of their day to become really skillful at my game. So how do you feel about this, Yaya?
Alright, so on the other hand of what Shadix said, I'm really for the competitive scene of it, because it creates longevity.
Yeah.
You know, and you hear the sirens, the Smash God's about to get me. Okay, the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro thing throws it off. Spyro's more believable than Crash. Well, Crash is more believable than Spyro. Here's why. Okay, that means Sakurai must have made this game. He took the engine of Smash 4. So that because I'm kind of seeing that it's gonna look like Smash 4. What we don't know is what's gonna be the new mechanics and the speed of the game. So what he's probably trying to do is he's trying to make it competitive, but he's trying to also keep it And his thing, he always believed not being a traditional fighting game. You get what I'm saying? Because once he says it's a fighting game, there's certain things that the game must abide by, or then people just not gonna like it. You know, or at least more people won't like it because they'll be like, "Oh, he says this is a fighting game, but
doesn't have X,
right.
X, and X." You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, it doesn't have health bars and stuff like that. And then people are like, "This is dumb. It's not even a fighting." Like, you know how people get.
Yeah.
Reason why I say I can see Captain Toad, because Captain Toad kind of wrong. First of all, and he ain't been in Smash Bros. Like, why hasn't Captain Toad been in Smash? He should have got in before Rosalina. I'm gonna be honest with everybody. He should have been in there, like at least the Blue Toad, at least. And this game must have been. He had to, like, for Crash Bandicoot and Spyro to be real. This man had to predict the licensing of Activision, trademarking and getting these characters in this game. Crash Bandicoot more so than Spyro because, excuse me, have a cold, people. I'm sorry, but with Crash Bandicoot, it was already known to be like Activision's. It was never exclusive. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was never PlayStation owned.
Well, no.
Crash,
well, it began as PlayStation only, and once Activision got that license, it was everywhere. Same thing with Spyro, actually, but continue what you're saying.
Right. But with Crash came out already. Crash was already talked about, already in the works. And they must have known this since Activision was like, "Yo, Nintendo, we about to put this on the Switch. Help us promote this." Bam. So, I could see Crash. Spyro, though, unless Spyro's going to be one of those characters that don't come out till after the game releases, then okay. But another thing that would probably make a lot of people happy, like, I love third-party characters. People call me the third-party man because I literally only go with third-party characters. But there's a lot of other characters that it deserves a spot, and I'm like, this will be hype. This will be really hype. Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, but it's too predictable, and that's something Sakurai doesn't do. You get what I'm saying? Like, he ain't really too predictable with it. Like Inklings, I was like, okay. It was about time for Inklings. Everybody was like, Splatoon has been on the face. Splatoon recently has been like the top 5 with Nintendo, like for at least the Switch. It's been everywhere. They just got an Octo expansion. We got Splatoon 2. It's everywhere. But with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, what makes me not think this is credible at all is just the timing for it is just too convenient. Because Sakurai usually, if you remember how when he was creating Mewtwo was revealed like
when
a
Smash
few months.
4 was launching on Wii U. My bad.
Right, but it was a little bit before that. It was like a few months before that.
Yeah.
So if Sakurai does this, that means he's gonna be fighting the schedule to get these characters done, and these characters gonna be broken on launch. Like, they're gonna be OD done. Because E3's June. And based on the release date that's supposed to drop in fall, in September, you got
3 months.
July. Yeah, you got 3 months. So it just doesn't make sense that he had finished these characters that fast. So that's how I feel about it. This one right here is iffy. Now, Ice Climbers, though, Ice Climbers better be back. I'm gonna fight you. I will write a strongly worded essay to Sakurai on Twitter, and I will type it all in kanji. So why is Ice Climbers and not in Smash? This one has to be real. It has to be real. So
I hope so. And like it says, there's going to be stuff during Treehouse Live. We're probably going to see some of the top Smash players playing it at Treehouse Live. So hopefully all this stuff is real. Like I said at the beginning of the video, take this all with a grain of salt. This guy doesn't give his source. He just says he knows a person who is in contact with marketing, and that's how he got this out here. So hopefully a lot of this stuff is true, because a lot of it's really good. I don't think there's really anything bad here, with the exception of regular Blackout Store not coming to the Switch. But outside of that, everything here is, a positive, or, if it isn't a positive, it isn't a negative either. So I wonder how you guys feel about this. Tell me how you guys feel about this. This is a discussion. Tell me how you feel if the leaks are real, if they're not. Even if they're not real, you know, tell me how would you feel if these leaks were real. This is being your man Shadicstick with Avataryaya. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video out with your friends, and we're out of here. Peace. Kiss, kiss.